Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Satsang. Let's make some silence first. Thoughts, emotions, sensations. All around me. Are they my thoughts? Or just random? But they are not me. Identity remains untouched. Always separated. As I observe them, I see the world. They are the roots of the world, the seeds. And as I observe them, my back are turned against identity. As I turn my back towards thoughts, emotions, sensations, I turn my back to the world and I observe identity. Not observe, but remain. As thoughts arise, they take me from a place towards the infinite, a never-ending direction. As I abandon them, I remain at the source. Once again, good morning everyone. Just reminding you that we use WhatsApp as a means of communication. You can send your questions to the number that appears on the comments. Makes communication much more fluid and private. Freedom is not a place to reach. It's more about freedom from your illusion. So your illusion, the way you perceive yourself and the world, those are the walls of your prison. And it maintains itself by constant investments. It's like your cell, your prison, feeds itself from you, from your misconceptions. And it's so well designed that everything, almost everything you experience as sensations, emotions, thoughts, they are about maintaining that prison. Whatever world you experience, whatever reality you experience, understand that body-mind complex is programmed to maintain it at all costs. And if by any chance some change happens to come, you will crystallize it again, as you did to the previous one. And then the body-mind complex will work to preserve that or to go back to the previous one. Nothing is static. So there are abundant spiritual teachings, but at the end of it, at the end of the day, it is about freeing you from yourself, from that body-mind complex. So all the structures of thought, almost all, are about preserving the level of reality that you are experiencing. And I say almost because not all. If you put in your mind that mind is not trustworthy, that guidance should sit on the chair of power, and that the mind is just a vessel that should be kept clean, silent, or observed, in the sense that what appears there reveals the structures of your delusion. And that's very important. And it should be trained to become just a tool that serves guidance. Because it's like you're in a boat and the compass is compromised. No matter how much you travel into the horizon, that compass brings you back to the same place, the place of departure. Always. And despite all your attempts, despite your how knowledgeable you are, and how different this new horizon seems from the previous one, no matter how much intelligence you use, you always come back to the departure point. It's like you're a sailor from the old days, and you were trusting the stars to guide you because they are steady in the sky. But then you find out that they are not steady, they are moving, and so not reliable. But before you discover that, you will continue to follow that star because that's the only thing you have. And even if, well, it has become visible that it's not really trustworthy, your trust is all there, all in. And that is a big obstacle. Because even guidance is transformed into information gathering because, well, it's not taken the way it should be, with the level of sacredness that should be involved, because the mind is sitting on the chair of power and it is using guidance as other informations. So it is taking the sacredness because it believes it's about concrete results. Well, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. But the level of concrete results sums up to the level of surrender and sacredness. And surrender to a point is possible beyond that. Without devotion, impossible. Because it's not about what's right and what's wrong, what's true and what's untrue. The mind can easily pick up something which is truthful and turn it in just fuel for delusion. So this is something very important to realize. Your mind, your senses, physical, astral, they are not trustworthy. Physical body is about the physical world, energetic body about the astral world, and so on. So waking state is just about what you call waking state. It's about this physical experience. We cannot even speak it like this. So let's forget about it. The point is, it doesn't matter how much you walk into a direction, you're just finding your way to where you left, to the departure point. These cyclic experiences give security, stability, reality to that fictitious character. His dreams, his despairs, they are all part of the same play, of the same delusional play. So the spiritual evolution, let's call it like this, that you can really observe is the level of surrender that you achieve. That is the real evolution. And this is what eventually will open the doors. Because even in this process of surrender, what you tend to do is, okay, so I surrender and let's see what happens. This is not surrendering, this is investment. Investing, like you're sitting in a place secure that you don't want to leave, but you're aiming at a higher point. So let's see if this guidance can help me get there. A means to an end. Just another tool that I will use in my very intelligent mind to reach my goal. And of course, this cannot take you far. Sometimes you see the results, and this is the blessing. But if you maintain that attitude, everything dies. And eventually, guidance may give you a little bit of crumbs for you because you're addicted to crumbs, for you to reflect and see it makes sense. But eventually, you'll be tested. And tested, well, we can say tested, but it's not really just random testing. Because everything, every path to freedom, every direction to freedom is outside your level, your perception, is outside your reality. Is the unknown, is the feared. So every indication, guidance takes you from the known to understand this and that. But as it becomes more intense, it will accelerate and direct you to the unknown. And then you'll struggle against it. One, because you fear it, because it is unknown. And even if you fear it, but you still go through it, your mind will be telling you, no, but it will be all right, it will be good, and this is not real, and I want to go through, and blah, 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 blah. It is trying to diminish the fears and the anxiety instead of surrendering. In the highest peaks of emotional crisis, of emotional restlessness, of thought restlessness, intense, these are moments of great opportunities. Because the structures of your delusions, your cravings, your desperations, everything which usually lies quiet down, unseen, becomes visible. And as it becomes visible, you know it is there. And then you can work it out. And you will see that all investments are not innocent. There's something there in mind. And this is how you deconstruct. But I will rephrase again. No matter how smart you think you are, you're adapting everything that comes into your way to become part of your illusion. You can see this as previously, when you weren't aware of spirituality as a workable science, as the main part of your life. It was unknown to you. You had one level of illusion. Then you got all that knowledge, all of that. Have you awakened yet? It's just a different illusion. Same, different circumstances. Same illusion. Because the mind is at the wheel. So it is adapting, 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 adapting. And there are certain things that mind cannot adapt to. And those are the ones you run away from. Sometimes don't even get close. So surrender is the central piece of it all. It is detachment of the structures of your world, of the character's world. Guidance is there available for those who are serious or have that potential. And real spirituality, you may fake things, but it doesn't work. It may seem to be working, but eventually it will stop. And that is the opportunity for you to think about better what you were doing and realign. So starting a serious meditation practice with the understanding, I don't want anything else from this world anymore, from this world or any other. And if you practice intensely, you will have to go through some challenges, some choices, small, big ones, because you cannot just simply start meditating intensely and nothing happens. It's not the case. You will have to fight for that time of meditation. You will have to struggle for it. And you will have to leave certain things behind to be able to do it. Fears will arise, and you will have to face those fears, to be exposed to them, to continue your meditation. And this is how you show yourself, that you show the guidance that you are serious. And it will come in some form. If it is serious. If it's not coming, understand, you're not serious enough. Maybe you are quite serious comparing to what you were previously. But guidance has high standards. And in the beginning, it's not really that high. But if you disrespect guidance, then standards raise. And as guidance comes, understand, your mind has to be out of the way. And this is what guidance will do. will expose you to circumstances, to situations, to actions you have to undertake, just for you to be able to choose either your concepts of what's right or wrong, or guidance. Either understanding, either through logic, or guidance. And your mind says, okay, so I'll do this, so the results will be better. But in your mind, results resume to circumstances, to happenings. They will be better. This is not what guidance has in mind. The best results is, are you becoming more humble, more simple, more surrendered? Is your heart becoming more close to guidance, more full of love, or filling, or not? So, if you're trusting your mind will want certain types of results. And for sure, those will not be observed. In the beginning, they may be for the sake of giving you an opportunity to improve your trust, but eventually it will be tested. Because with that level of trust, you will not achieve surrender. It's an investment. And your trust will be superficial, will be conditioned to results. So it's still in the boundaries of your illusion. And you cannot go beyond it. And this is usually what happens. When the tests come, first guidance comes with a smile in its face. Then it makes a "Rrr." This is where love disappears. And if it cannot stand this, it cannot move beyond the boundaries of its world, because surrender is superficial. So when it reaches the walls of illusion, which is your prison, of course, but still what keeps you safe, what gives you purpose, the character as identification is there. So going through it, it's a terrifying experience. If deep trust is not there, if you're conditioning your surrender to guidance, result-based, and result-based for you means in your concepts of what's right or wrong, then if you're experiencing fear, anxiety, stress, crisis, meltdown, that's not good. A little bit is manageable, but too much is too much in your vision. And these are the markers that you're coming close and closer to the walls of your prison. And without a very deep trust, which is the fruit of real surrender, you will not be able to go through where guidance has pointed. And if by any chance you are really courageous and smart, and you see, no, but guidance knows better, and you go through, perhaps you will not see the fruits of it, the real fruits, neither the fake ones. So this will shake you. Because there are those who are powerful enough to do this. But as they are moved by greed, it's like they expect to see a very beautiful garden, but they don't see that their feet goes ahead and smashes everything. When the eyes appear, it's not there. So it's different challenge for them. They will have to continue again and again and again and again, experiencing the frustrations and the losses concerning their expectations, of course, so that they can achieve also surrender. So the closer you come to the barriers of your illusion, the more intense it becomes, the more difficult it becomes. If you would just get there now, it would be unbearable. So whatever guidance is giving you an opportunity, for sure is not what you imagine, it's surrender. And surrender has a different meaning of also of what you imagine. It's the complete letting go of personal will. It's like that illustration in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is sitting in the driver's place, and Arjuna is being guided. Arjuna as the character, Krishna as guidance. He is guiding the destiny. It's according to his will, to the higher will, not according to the maintenance of the character's world. But if Arjuna just sit there and said, okay, so you drive because it will be for my best interest, and that means I can take some fruits here to the maintenance of my world, it wouldn't be the same. It would appear that Krishna was guiding, but it was still Arjuna that was guiding. And he would let go as it fitted the narrative, and when it stopped fitting his narrative, he would take control back again. Okay, Quentin, hi, thanks again for your reflection about direct guidance. I've been traveling for a while, quite purposeless, for lack of clear guidance perceived, trying to keep my frequency the highest possible and connect with my higher self. I experience a lot of pain in the physical body, though it seems it's fading and being replaced by inner fire and bliss when taking right action. The mind is asking, where should I go now? I don't have a place per se at the moment. When I turn west, it seems the body relaxes. I access a lot of energy. Problem is, west is a big and vague direction. I'm in Portugal. So it would probably mean to cross the ocean. I tried to connect with different places as where to go, but nothing resonates energetically. How to find a clear guidance and understand what steps to take. Thanks. So, these instruments that you are using, these were the ones I was talking about, not just the physical ones, energetic ones, mental ones. And to sum it up completely, fact is, no matter how many instruments you may be using, you're blind. This is the reality. And yes, the same way that people change because of thoughts and directions they get in the physicality, or if they have access to other senses, like the energetic ones, the astral ones, it is still conditioned to the same narrative. and you will be still walking in circles. Even the concepts you may harboring about why to go somewhere and to which direction, they are probably out of place. And conditioning also, because it is a whole circumstance. So if you really want guidance, to get guidance, well, it starts by putting things into the right place, into the right perspective. Like I said previously, probably some didn't listen because it was in the beginning, in the silent moment. I don't want anything else from this world anymore, just freedom. And if you sit to meditate intensely, letting go all ideas of going and coming and all of that, using all your available time. And what I mean about available time is the 24 hours that is available per day. Of course, there is rest and all of that. But if you intensify using all your time for it, eventually you will be touched by life. Life will touch you and will start giving you hints. But understand, if you adapt these hints to the same old, then it goes back to the same. Mine is very urgent. It doesn't have time to wait. And sometimes waiting is a need. And it's not about meditating and a flashy thought comes. It's not that, because that happens a lot. And people think that is guidance. But guidance, if it comes from within, which is difficult, but in some way, in the beginning, it's easier. Then is something that you see clearly as not you. These are not your thoughts. These are not your feelings. It's not that. It's something that you recognize immediately. It popped in. It's not mine. It's different. It's from outside. Let's call it something outside of myself. On my inner space of perception, of course. Not that your neighbor tripped on the balcony, you say, oh, that's my guidance. No, it's not about that. So it's about this inner place of perception where you stay when you abstract from everything else. And look, Quentin, usually, like I explained in the beginning, this going here, going there, whatever it is, it's conditioned to the same, to the point of departure. The point of departure is that which closes the circle of your reality, of what you call your reality, your world, with all the best and the worst. Everything is there, which together gives a feedback of existence, importance, a purpose. All these movements, usually, if it's not directed by guidance, it's just to maintain the balance of your illusion. to guidance, you have to silence your mind. Because people sit in meditation, the mind starts chattering, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes it's something real, wow! They get, wow, amazed. This must be guidance. No. You need to silence the mind completely. Intensify meditation and work for silencing the mind. Guidance will pierce through and enter that silent chamber. Will punch a hole through it. And you will know, this is not me. It's not these voices, nothing of this. Vasudevan, please, what is the meaning of meditation? Well, there are so many meanings that we could spend here the whole day. But eventually is what I've explained during this streaming or whatever it's called. You're closing your eyes to the world. The problem with some types of meditations, or the way certain seekers meditate, is that by closing their eyes, they are doing something that will improve their experience in some sort. And this conditions meditation. But even the act of meditating, closing your eyes, sitting still, motionless, focusing on a technique, meaning abstracting from everything else, that is a big clue. And as you stop engaging in what life is pulling you to, and if you persist in that, awakening will be unavoidable. Life can't disappear. Either it serves delusion or it awakes. But of course, there's many, many other meanings for meditation. That's just one of the main ones. So despite the intensity of my practices and focuses, it's like I've been protecting something that I'm not seeing, as if practices could go much beyond, and is that in a way the inner conversation that I'm still maintaining? Well, probably both, because of course you are protecting something. Body-mind complex is always protecting something. The character is always protecting his own sources of existence. And as it gets cornered, he protects that which is dear, if not with abundance, but with enough to maintain itself. And like I've explained previously, what you can see is not what it is, it's what you can, according to what your reality/illusion is able to sustain. This is why guidance is important, because it gives you a vision beyond your level of limitations. And if you can deal with it or not, that is an entirely different subject. The majority can't. This is why it takes time. But for sure, you are protecting many things yet, but also this is about maintaining the inner conversation to create restlessness. It's like using a truth to maintain deception. So both are true. To all moments, everything wants to go back to the balance. There has been fear arising, like something is about to break. But despite the efforts, I'm still holding on to something, as if I was not seeing. Do I lack vigilance? Probably, but that's not the only thing. It's not just about vigilance. It's about truthfulness, honesty also plays a big role. Because if this level is not very high, you will not identify things. You will not take them by what they are. You will dismiss their importance. And like I said, your eyes will tend not to go beyond that which is not possible. So first, you must eliminate that which you can, and at the same time, praying for guidance to reveal the next step. Because certain things, guidance can come when you are doing the level best that you can. So first take care of your part and ask for guidance, pray for it. Eventually, it will come. You should know that by now. Do I have to be vigilant all the time? It's a constant tension. As if in a breath, a twink of the eye, I could lose it. The day gets huge, there's no security, no guarantee. Am I alluding that I'm focused? Well, you're walking in direction of focus, yes? And it's a constant tension, especially in the beginning. And this is a big obstacle for the how do you say this, the New Age philosophies, that everything needs to flow, there mustn't be any tension anywhere. Of course, you'll be free-flowing in the waterfalls, going through the lullabies of delusion. Because the tension is the opposite of distraction. That is what happens when you're not focused, when you're not paying attention. And just a small distraction can take a long time. So what is this free flow? Apart just with flowing with nature, with Maya, just following the currents of delusion. That traveling that takes you around and around and brings you back to the same point. And of course, when you're paying attention, time doesn't just disappear through your hands. It becomes huge. And it's that in that hugeness that details become very visible. Things that were invisible become visible. The more focus, the more you can see. Okay. So if there's no more questions, that's it for today. Next satsang will be Wednesday. Saturday there won't be satsang, it will be Wednesday, 9 a.m. in the morning, Brazilian time, UTC -3. Until then, make the best use of your time. Don't waste time reading books and all those nonsenses. Only if it is a scripture with devotion after meditation with a different mindset. Yes, but apart from that, forget about the rest. Sit, learn a meditation technique, that either a mantra or a kriya, and start meditating intensely. Make it real, and then follow the life that emerges. Okay, lots.